What's up? This Bboy Reg.
I'm DJ Butter, y'all.
And this Funky Fresh in the Flesh
podcast.
What's up?
Saying? Yes, sir.
So what's been up, Butter?
Man, just came into Detroit, man, and linked with a lot of the homies to get us some content for what we got to come out for the future, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Music, movies, documentaries, podcasts, we doing it all, man.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if y'all don't know, we got some good content, man.
Yeah.
Like, I learned so much about Detroit history, rap history, in this past week, more than I learned over the past 40 years, man.
Man, it's a good thing. We got to monetize to get in the world, man. I got a storage just for Detroit hip-hop, man. So storage full of CDs, vinyls, T-shirts, everything. So it's time for the people to see what we see, you know what I'm saying?
Man, Butter, man, y'all don't know, Butter got some crazy shit on video, man. Like, I used to pop up over his crib, and then he'd be like, check this out, Reg, and he'd hit play. He chilling with Slum Village or something, you know what I'm saying? D12 just got old footage, classic footage.
Yes, sir.
Man,
we got some documentary stuff. We wanna really blow out the YouTube page, you know what I'm saying? Really get people to really see what's going on with Detroit hip hop in a major way, you know.
That's what's up. We gonna put some of that footage. We gonna put not just our interviews, but we gonna put some of Butter's exclusive footage.
Yes.
On YouTube, or even maybe our Spotify listeners too can see that as well.
I'm gonna start saying Michigan hip hop more too.
Yeah. Because look, we gotta represent what we got. Yaktown,
yes,
Flint. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yaktown was influential to Detroit hip hop in a major way. Flint, you know what I'm saying? Everything from Breed, his whole camp was DFC. Oh man.
Yep.
I remember going to Atlanta, and it was this group down there. I forgot their name, but they had a song used to be like "Straight from the Deck, Slangin' Billows," and they was rapping like "Dump Dump, Down Chin, Must Chill" or something.
Ghetto Mafia or something.
Yeah, Ghetto Mafia. Man, that shit was hard. But I was down there. And I was like, man, this is so fucking hard. You know what I'm saying? And it was like the whole vibe. And they kept talking about the Dayton family. Like, I'm down there, you know, looking at they artists. They telling me about my artists up here. So, it's, the Dayton family, they reach was far, man, especially down south.
I used to go to Flint just to look for them and, you know, to go see my Aunt Blanche, my Uncle Milton.
Right.
My cousin Ben.
You had an aunt named Blanche?
Yeah.
Was she a golden girl?
nah, she was hardcore, man.
She was?
Yeah, from Flint.
Well, she was in Flint. Everybody in Flint, a little hardcore.
Flint, my cousin Jamal, man, too.
Flintstones. That's why they call them Flintstones. They hard.
Yes. Yeah, man, to try to run into Ready for the World and all of them
guys.
Man, I want to meet all them guys.
Yep.
You know, Dayton family, the MC Bree. As soon as MC Bree got on, I went out there. When he passed away, I took my father out there.
Wow.
Yeah, we went to the funeral.
Damn. You know who put Ready for the World on? Mojo. Electrifying Mojo.
Oh, wow.
Yep. He broke their record. Yep. It was first
Shout
DJ,
out to Ready
man.
for the World, man. You know, with MC Breed, Ichiban, who they started with to invest in MC Breed?
Who?
Clarence Carter Stroking.
For real? Yeah. I'll be stroking.
Yeah, that's what got MC Breed out.
Yep, I'll be singing that to my wife every now and then. She be like, go on, baby.
Yeah.
That's why I told you I'm practicing to be an old grouchy man and shit.
That old dirty old man. Man, I can't wait till these people see the interviews we got, man. We got a onslaught of Detroit legends. Maserati Rick Jr. I got his dad documentary. We just talked to him the other day. Shout out to the Carter family. Man, we got DJ King David. We just did an album called Good Dope Sells Itself. Got my man Bboy Reg is on there.
Butter got me out of retire. I don't know if I ever retired though.
No.
I ain't put an album out to retire from. But I got a lot of verses out there on Butter. Shit, I got verses out there in the universe.
Yeah.
They dope too, cause I ain't used to just write rhymes like I think that's the one thing I regret about rhyming. I ain't used to just be writing rhymes because I had one rhyme book, but I ain't really use it.
Mm-hmm.
I used to just write all my rhymes in my head. And then when you call, I already have a verse for you and shit. But like, over time, man, like Butter hit me up every 5 to 10 years and shit, be like, come lay a verse. I'm down there 50 now and shit. Last time I recorded, I was 42.
Wow.
Then 38, Mo Master still had a studio.
What you was on my album Shit Happens?
Yep.
Shit Happens, you was on Shit's
Kill the DJ.
Kill the DJ.
I remember, so my one of my best memories was we was at Mo House. We did Detroit with me, you, Dez, Lil B, which is Wesley Valentine, and TKO, which is Joe Bizzo now. Yep, Detroit. Yes. And then we doubled back. You was doing a rap game mixtape, and me and Proof was in there dropping freestyles for you. Yeah. Yep. And I remember listening to that cassette. It was on cassette, and that was the first time you had played Biggie. What was it? It wasn't Somebody's Got to Die. It was one of them on there, but that had some classic shit that hadn't came out yet.
Puffy gave me that tape.
Yeah.
He hopped out of bands with Mace and gave me a promo tape.
Damn.
At that time, I had them tapes in the hip hop shop back then.
Right.
And I used to boom them, and I went in there one time and they were sold out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Proof, where my money at? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, but I ain't got no money right now. I think he spent the money up,
right.
You know.
That's
so
funny.
he gave me a jogging suit.
Right.
I think Mo mad about that to this day. Sorry, Mo. But yeah, cause he was looking at how professional the tapes was with my name on them.
Right.
So he eventually got the Fire Ella album made.
Right.
And he had the shrink wrap, and he was like, Butter, man, we outdoing you. You know, he was really hard on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Rest in peace to Big Proof. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. Yep. And then recording Kill the DJ, that was fun because you had the 9 coming through. Yeah. We did that at Rob Jasper crib. Yeah. And it was weird because like I was just popping up like after work, and I just came over one day and the 9 had finished the beat, and I think the 9 wrote to it first. I had like part of a verse, and we just all kind of just wrote and laid it there and shit. But that was dope because that was one of my favorite songs I ever did, period. Because it had the scratching on it. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? I take the money, so I have
eventually to did it over. He scratched that same
for cut. Real.
Yeah, but it was from, you know.
Yeah, it's their shit first, yeah. So every time I hear DeWitt, every time I hear DeWitt, I'll be like, oh yeah. That get me excited, man. But the best part of that was after the fact when you did the album release party and Proof was hosting. I was performing the song, and I'm on stage performing and shit, and it's this little young white kid in the front row singing along with me word for word. Man, my head got so fucking big. I actually forgot my lyrics, man. Shit, I had fucked up. I was like, oh, shit. And I heard you yell out, just freestyle. I'm like, nigga, I don't freestyle. Just stop this shit.
Proof hosted that party for me.
Yeah.
That was my Shit Happens party.
Yeah.
Because Shady Records wanted the song.
Okay.
So he really wanted to come back and show love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even if they didn't. You know what I'm saying? So
that was dope.
I got it on videotape as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Rest in peace to Big Proof, you know?
Yeah, that was dope, man. But yeah, that was fun. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, man, some good times, man. And then the people we interviewing, it's like I guess the craziest thing that keep coming up, well, at least from 4 of the people we talked to,
was Tupac. We talked
the
about
Tupac, the Redman story.
Night,
no, Redman came up twice in these stories. Yeah. When Glock was like, he was filleting my man and shit. Yeah. And then the Jack Frost and the St. Ives commercial. And then like 3 times there's a Death Row connection there.
DJ Lowe's dad and him.
Yep. Or people just being around Death Row or having connections with Death Row from Detroit back then that we didn't even know about. So that's dope. So yeah, y'all got to check those episodes out. Yeah, we got some good people coming up, man. So what's going on with the album with Good Dope Sales itself, though? Who all you got on there? Other than me, of course.
It's starring Pace One, me, DJ King David. Pace One is the lead vocalist. We got 4 Eyes from DTP Clan. We got as well as Bizarre from D12. DJ Dez made a beat on here. Of course, Bboy Reg. Me and King David rhyming on here with Pace One.
King David got bars, though.
Word.
Low key. He a DJ, but he got bars.
Yeah, we shout out to Thousand. He mastered it, you know. It's out right now. It's distributed through Sony Orchard. You know what I'm saying? It's called Good Dope Sells Itself.
That's what's up.
Traffic as well.
So Pace One, legendary Outsiders.
Yeah, this
doing songs with Lauryn Hills, Pace One, Young Z. Yeah. King David told us a hell of a story about Young Z. Like when he picked him up to take him to Bazaar House.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Man, welcome home Young Z as well. You know?
Hey, you want to know the funniest thing? Y'all gonna see an episode, Butter, and most of the episodes, like, sometimes I get tongue-tied, right, when I'm interviewing people because I'm like a fan. But Butter be chill. He be laid back. He might crack a little smile. But in one episode, he was talking about getting high with Chris Webber and Outkast. That nigga Butter teeth showed so bright. I was like, damn, that must have been a good memory, boy.
We was at Legends.
Okay.
We was at the top. Chris Webber bought us food. And me, my cousin Ronnie, Chris Webber, and Andre 3000 and Big Boy, we was all just sitting at the table, you know.
Yeah.
But we was blow. It was like, I don't know what we had, man. I think we had bought something special when we seen Chris, but man, that was a good time. Shout out to No Coast. Shout out to Humility Records, you know. Man, it was a good time to see CJ really doing his thing, you know, that type of time, you know.
That's dope. So let's talk about some hip hop in general. What's out now that you listening to?
My man Bodie James.
Yep.
Of course, we got an album out called The Art of Rock Climbing. Rock Marciano. I listen to him. I mean, he make his own beats. Just to hear what he do with the sound effects and rhyming over different stuff. I'm a fan of that.
Okay.
Like, he's like a one-man band, you know what I'm saying? Still, you know, a lot of oldies. I still get influence from the oldies, you know.
Yeah.
I got a couple mix shows, so I play all what's new and, you know, what I like from Detroit classics and things like that as well.
That's dope. Yeah, I try to listen to some new stuff. I listen to Sada Baby. I like his energy.
Of course, all the Detroit stuff.
Who else I'm listening
to?
Payroll, yep. I haven't. It seemed like the older I got, the less albums I buy. I'm like kind of listening to like one-off songs here and there.
Right.
But shit, I really did become an old man. I be listening to some old music. Like I ain't talking about old hip hop. I'll be listening.
Stephanie Mills or something.
Man, cause you know me and my wife be ballroom dancing and stuff. So that music like Enchantment, Dramatics, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Then I be like, damn, we used to sample all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like I'm listening to it. Me and my wife, we all hugged up, but at the same time, I'm singing some shit to it because I'm thinking about the rap that went to it. But yeah, I listened to some old hip hop. Me and my wife would do a road trip, and I just go through my CDs, and it'd be like I don't have nothing like really current, But then I'll play some stuff, man. I'll be like, damn, should I be embarrassed listening to this? But the shit still go hard. Like Niggas for Life.
Yeah,
man, that album was
well put together.
Album, that I think that was like the pre-Chronic, but I think it was leading up to that. But they had the little turmoil and all that with the breakup. But when you listen to the production and the way that album was put together, that was the Chronic in the making to me when you listen to it. But that album was dope. But yeah, some of the shit we was listening to and saying back then, I was like, God damn, boy, we was something else. But yeah.
Yeah, I try to take a visit to the record stores often just to, just go in there with $20 and see what I can buy. Maybe take some old used stuff that I had and update my collection. Maybe, see what's new out there and bring some new stuff home.
Right.
Just to keep adjusted with the times, man.
Right.
Being a DJ, you gotta kind of love it all. I can't really be selfish like that,
Yeah, I think that's the advantage of being a DJ, because you kind of forced to stay up to speed on stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's a gift and a curse. It's like now, a lot of cats don't think the DJs need anything. Like rappers think DJ's supposed to play and support, and they just don't think it's supposed to come back. But even now, I seen a story on Bobby Smurder and Nori talking about payola and things. It's, it takes money to make money, man. So, just got to keep the DJs empowered. I mean, for just even watching Jam Master Jay go out over a drug deal like that, just, it's just, just watching him, made me want to do my own label harder and, invest in myself harder, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, the DJs break the records, man. Like, like actually on the Pace mentioned, the DJ tribute.
Yes.
So like you can upload your stuff to YouTube, but the thing with like what Valid was saying, like you have to go find the music, but the DJ is still important because they're the ones that's feeding it to the public. So like, DJ, it can be a club DJ. A lot of records got broke at the titty bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feeling good, you know what I'm saying? You got some titties on your chin and you hear the music, you get home, you want to relive that moment. You know what I'm saying? And your girl titties might not look like that, but you can still listen to the same song.
I ain't got some Picasso. Shout out to her.
Yeah. But yeah, man, but in all seriousness though, we talk about, the DJs. It's a lot of connections you have to do to break a record. Good music is always best, but it can only go so far if it's not being heard.
Yeah, but remember Billy T used to wake us up with Detroit hip hop. It was empowerment.
Yeah,
we would wake up and hear him in Troublesome on the radio.
Yep. But it's like a lot of artists do stop at just I made a good song and should get support, and artists now they got more platforms to get their music out on. Like you can literally upload your shit to Spotify or online, just put it on YouTube. You can shoot a video today and have it on YouTube tonight.
But too, artists, when you do things like that, the follow through. I mean, if you got merchandise, or even if you get the DJ a drop,
right?
You customize it make them feel like it's. We found a way to be more antisocial with social media,
right?
And just even text messaging. I think that's what's kind of
right,
that messed up the kind of the communication with a lot of this stuff. So
yeah,
as far as the DJs and the MCs, you got to kind of you got to receive a love and get a love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so.
And it's funny because like I just remember like this wasn't like 80s. Well, in the 80s, you had your radio DJs that were hip-hop DJs in real life, like your Molly Moss or Mr. Magic and them. But then you had that mixtape era DJs, the Clues and all of that. And it was like, yeah, you go give that DJ a drop for their album or their mixtape. And then you probably gave them a verse. You know what I'm saying? Because Underground got the music first. They broke it first and then started forcing the radio to play some of it. And then some stuff that was too hard for the radio, it was circulating in the street. So it kind of didn't matter because people was buying the album based on, people have a fear of missing out. So like, if I got the new joint from Butter, then somebody else feel like they got to have it. If everybody start banging it, then it's like, okay, what am I missing out on? Let me go get the whole album first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's weird how it works. Like, you might not even think something hot until you hear everybody else playing it. So yeah, the DJ is still important, man.
Shout out to Drunken Master. You know what I'm saying? It's my guy, 12 Tech Mob. Yeah, I think at the same time, the marriage, is just the love from, they got to give it back. It's like if we don't add it up to where Detroit artists, can't turn on the radio and hear their own music, and they want to charge the DJ for verses and drops and things, and we supporting our own, we really kind of battling ourselves, you know what I'm saying? So DJs and the artist connection got to get back right again, because you see DJ Drama and Khaled, he brings so much unity on a project. You look for the unity more than the music majority of the time. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to DJ Khaled, man. He held my album up, a piece of the action, like a proud, like it was his. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that was dope.
He seen investment.
Hey, who are? Cause you had Piece of the Action. That's the one you did with Dash, right?
Right.
And who all y'all have on that project?
We had Dipset, Hell Rail, Cocaine, from Ruthless Records, Easy E Fam,
right?
Corrupt, Bodie James, Boss, Get Well Boss, Seven a General, my boy Cyrus Grissom from Highland Park, him and his wife, TKO, the Dreadnoughts, Joey Bishop, of course, Street Lord Juan was on there. I rhymed on there with DJ Dez, my mama at the beginning of our song.
That's dope.
I recorded her before she passed away. It kind of felt like she was gonna pass away, so I said, let me get all what I can out of her. But
that's dope.
So go get that. It's on iTunes right now. It's called A Piece of the Action. Me and DJ Dez.
Yeah, that's dope.
Wesley Valentine, shout out to you, bro.
So let's talk about some hip hop overall. Let's go back in the day. So when me and you first met, I think we was both like big Cold Chillin Record fans. So it was like I would go to Chantonique's. Anything that said Def Jam or Cold Chillin, I just brought it. I ain't even question the quality.
We had Chantonique's in Highland Park, man.
Yeah. I was just buying stuff like, they had like their lead artists. You had your Big Daddy or Biz Markie. But anybody after that, whether it was Master, Ace, Craig G, or any of that, we was just buying it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, I know it's dope.
Me and Illy Ill used to go in there and just everything new. If they had like the gold chain and the gym shoes on the cover, we was like, we didn't even care what it sounded like. Let me just buy it and listen to it and just be up on it, Yeah. Shout out to Josie and Barry of Chantonique's Records. That was our Hitsville at home, at HP,
Yeah, remember this dude named Barsha? That was on.
Yeah.
Remember I sampled that? Yeah, practice.
Is his stuff on YouTube?
Man, I don't even know. We gotta look him up. Yeah. Yep. It was acts like him. That was hard. I just think it was just it wasn't a lane for him at the time because lyrically. He was there. I be mentioning the people, and people be like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "Man, his lyrics was hard.
He was super hard."
Yep. But the person that came out of that, that stuck out a lot. So of course you had your Kane, your Biz, Master, Ace, Craig G, but I think really, and of course MC Shan, but I think the hardest one to come out of there. After G-Rap and Kane was Granddaddy IU. Yep. Because he had lyrics and his swag.
Pimping. Yeah, he was pimping.
You can see a lot of maybe like Jay. It's a lot of people you could see kind of had that same. He was like laid back with it. You know what I'm saying?
Brother J, you know, Brother J was the balance with the funk and he was hardcore with it and had a subject with it.
Right.
You know, it was like roller skate music at the same time as funk. You know, just the street element with the beats. You know.
Right. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
So I want to know something. I always wanted to ask you this. Remember Kool Keith came out with Poppa Large. Mm-hmm. Remember he had the East Coast version, he had the West Coast. Which one did you like the most?
The West Coast was dope.
Yeah, because it had that dope. Funky Worm sample?
Yeah, I think DJ Pooh did that one.
Yeah, DJ I think Pooh did
the
that.
video was crazy. The video, you know, when I met Kool Keith,
funk, Freak the Funk, and all that junk. I get busy on and communicate with the world.
Yeah. Man, that was a hell of a record, man.
A Ricky Ricardo or El Dorado or some shit was saying that shit was hard. But yeah, I want the fans to let us know which version they think is better.
I think about Kool Keith I think about you when I see Kool Keith, and when I talk to G-Rap, I think about you.
You know? Oh, G-Rap, man, that was my guy. I remember first watching the symphony with my friend Wendell, right? And we was sitting there, and that's how long ago it was, because I said my friend, not my boy, but we was watching it, and we was like Big Daddy Kane fans. I heard G-Rap on, he had a song, Color soundtrack. I think it was Rikers Island or one, or it was Rikers Island, or was it Men at Work? It was one of them that was on the Color soundtrack. And I heard him, but he was dope, but I ain't really like get into him like that. Man, the symphony came on, and then your verse came on. He was like, Marley gives the slice, I get nice. And I was sitting there like, and then Big Daddy Kane verse came on. And I was like, we expected that from Kane. And I looked at Wendell. I was like, man, G-Rap was better than Kane. And I argue with a lot of people over that, man. And I'm like, yeah, Kane had that line, put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself. But G-Rap verse is timeless. I want to take that verse and put it over some like different beats, like current beats. That verse timeless, dog.
Yeah. They said they had to snip that verse. It was longer than what we heard.
Yeah, because he was trying to out-rap Kane.
Man, the beauty of being able to watch the video and walk up the street to Chantanese and go buy the record was, man, it was so convenient, man.
That was dope. Yeah, G-Rap changed. He's trying to change the format. So you had at least for me, coming out of that real hood high era, and then going into Run DMC, then LL. Who else had some different styles? Like Houdini had more. They was the first grown and sexy to me.
Yeah.
Like people don't really give them that credit, but Houdini was the first like grown man rap. I'm not a young boy, even though they was young. And then
had weed clips on their clothing and their hats.
Yeah, and they wasn't wearing Adidas and shit like everybody else. Yeah. And then but then the rhyme styles and patterns started changing. Like, you know, your Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Rakim, but G-Rap rhyme pattern. You would listen to Rakim, but then you would hear G-Rap and the way he was flipping his words, and then he had that list where it was just different. And then you could hear that like in Big Pun. You can hear
the storytelling element too.
Yeah, yep. He had all of that, man. But yeah, G-Rap. I got my favorite rappers, and then I got my GOATs. G-Rap is in both, right? So like my favorite rapper list includes King T, but he not my GOATs, right? Because sometimes your favorite rapper be about personality, what songs they made, and that type of stuff. But my GOATs could rhyme, they can make hits and all of that stuff as well.
Yeah, I did a song with G-Rap and Guilty on A Piece of the Action, and G-Rap and Bodie is on The Art of Rock Climbing. I did those two records.
Damn. Well, you ain't mention that.
Well,
yeah, can't forget G-Rap.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
He called me Barry, my government. Yeah, that's what's up.
That's
cool
dope.
G-Rap.
Yeah, that's dope. So how did you start DJing? Like when I met you, I met you through Tyrone because me and him was doing like shows with like Candy Production and performing at she'd have us performing at Hart Plaza, State Fair, and Little. It was dope because she had us perform. She had a place where all the kids can perform. Right in Sun Village area, right over at Conant.
Right.
Area. And
shout out to Miss Candy.
Yep. And she every Friday at this church, she would let everybody come perform. They would rap or dance. And then like the bigger acts, she would allow them to perform on the bigger shows.
Yeah.
And she would book shows. But I was hanging with Tyrone around that time. And then
Joey Bishop, shout out to you, yeah.
That's when I met you. How long before that were you DJing?
Well, coming up from Thompson, I was inspired just watching the videos and seeing certain things. But and going to Barber, I met Patrick Hendricks, Illy Ill.
Right.
And I've been knowing of Jam Master Jay, but to see him, Illy Ill, he used to dub make the beats with the double cassettes,
right,
off his grandma radio, his grandma church radio. But one day I was in his house and he was banging on the yellow pages with the pencil. He had the microphone, recording the pencils hitting the yellow pages, and he made them the drums,
right,
to his track. And then he's like, watch this, and then he put the bass on it with the cuts, and then put the stabs, and he was doing all this stuff, and I'm like, wow, he was a one-man team, and he was pretty much like, dog, if you figure this out, you my DJ, or if you get some equipment,
right,
I couldn't do all the stuff he was doing. He made a drum beat off the yellow pages with the pencils, bro.
Right.
And tweak the bass on a 4-track,
right?
And and it sounded like we went to the studio. You know what I'm saying? So I eventually got some equipment. I was learning on my grandma turntable, going from Highland Park to Puritan in North Lawn to my grandma's house.
Right. Hold on, how many people fucked up their grandma's turntables trying to be a DJ?
Yeah, I mean, when I heard Christmas rapping and rock box and all that stuff, my grandma kind of knew, like, that was my lane. Like, this is what you want to do. So I was able to come back to Patrick like, yo, I know I figured it out. You know? So as soon as I got my 1200s, it was like 500 a piece back then. Like, we was 14, 15 years old. So it was, I had to get a $200 mixer and $1,000 worth of turntables, I got my equipment. We shot our first video, but I never really had a chance to take the equipment to the studio because he got killed right after that. So I went harder on doing the mixtapes and promote myself. And then me and TKO, Joey Bishop, we was all part of the Highland Park rapping crews and stuff like that. So he was telling me about Candy Productions and Joke Man and all this stuff. So we was able to do Latin quarters and all that stuff as kids, We rocked all of them before I was 18. Latin quarter, State Fair,
You was DJ main attraction.
DJ was Skills. It was Terminator 1200. It was whack. Terminator 1200 and DJ Skills, but Alliance had Skills. They had a DJ Skills in the Alliance.
Okay.
So when I seen that, it broke my heart. I think Elio brought that record home. It was like, yo, they got your name, this type of thing. So it was main attraction after that. Then it's still main attraction in my own little way, but Butter is more commercialized,
Yeah, that's dope. What made you choose DJ Butter?
Just coming out. It's just a persona, man. I mean, it's just you gotta kind of go in situations laid back, especially in the music business.
Right.
I didn't take me coming up as a child into the music business, so I said, let me have something to patient deal with these guys that patient me out. You know what I'm saying? So it was a chill name. You know what I'm saying? I'm light skinned, and I try not to give people so much of my energy all the time. Right. So you know, that's.
Was it ever like a DJ Parquet out there you had beef with or something? Like Parquet and Butter, nigga. Butter.
No, no, it's a guy. It's a guy on the internet now. You know, this white dude. He got the Butter name. I'm like, dog, you go back 20 years. You know,
right?
Nah.
Anybody named DJ Butter, we coming.
Right.
Yeah, that's dope. DJ Butter, HP's on.
Yeah, I got a couple albums out under that name.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. So what's Arizona like, man? You went out there and you left the city folks behind. You went out west.
It's not as man, my phone ringing. I guess it's the interview wanted to call now.
Right.
But it's not as entrepreneurial. You know how we can just step out the house and buy something, and
right.
You know, everybody kind of got their hand on something out there. It's like it's all kind of it's allianced out, you know, a little bit. You can't just. You got to have some connections to throw parties and do certain things. Right. But I'm getting adjusted to that. You know, just like me I go to 100 record stores here.
Right.
But there I got to talk to management and you know, just like, you know, the management got to talk to management. They got to prove the product. You know, Detroit got to take advantage of, you know, that entrepreneur spirit. We got to make the best of that.
You saying like here you can go in the store, have a conversation, and get a record in there.
Yeah.
But there you got to go like more of the corporate
politics. Route. Yes, it got to mail CDs in, emails. They got to see the barcodes on it. You know, things like that. And then, you know, for years, me and King Dave, we used to go to the record store and see artists never put their records on consignment.
Right.
You know, they really don't build up a demand, you know, for the, you know, I see Detroit records more out there in AZ, you know what I'm saying, than, you know, here at home, you know, Clear Soul Forces records.
Right.
You know, on the shelves.
What's the place out there? Was it Trill or something like that?
Yep, Trill.
That a record store and what exactly is?
It's like a hip hop shop on steroids. It's like you know, you got the graffiti element. You know, the cats that do graffiti, you can go there and buy paint.
Right.
The cats that do toys, make toys, and
they break dancing out there.
Yeah, they still break dancing.
We coming for y'all. I'm about to get my shit together. They still
break dancing out there.
I'm about a Alfonso Ribera package. Remember he was selling the break dancing kit with the albums and shit. I'm gonna get ready. We gonna go out there and battle.
Yeah, they still love the culture out there.
Yeah, we gonna serve them fools.
Yeah.
Like they say in Big Street. There go Rocksteady. Let's go serve them.
Yeah. Shout out to Chuck and Trill, Zia Records. My man DJ Tony Tone, he out there back and forth. Frogger D, who was on.
Yeah,
he's out there. He was at the beginning of Eminem, I Just Don't Give a Fuck.
Yeah. Frogger D.
Yeah, he's out there.
Yep. Yeah. I ain't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
Like it's some names I remember, like Dopadelic. You remember them?
Yeah, I'm my guys. Huh?
Yeah, I remember being at the Rhythm Kitchen, Dopadelic performing, and so the two groups I remember the most was Paul Bunyan, who was
Rhythm Cartel. Yep, him and Skinny J.
And Dopadelic. But Dopadelic had a live. They had a nice stage performance.
Yeah.
They lyrics was on point. Like the whole package was there.
Well, the Inner Circle was out too, Ron.
Yeah.
It was.
They was performing, but I knew them, so it was like I seen Dopadelic, but I was hearing the Inner Circle music more than I was seeing them perform.
Mm-hmm.
But Dopadelic, I ain't hear none of their music. I just seen the stage performance, so that's all I had to go on. But the Inner Circle was good because I knew them, I knew the music. I get there and I'm rocking with them.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell you that time P. Groove pulled me up on stage. Mm-hmm. He was performing at, I think it was like Majestic or something like that. and they was performing, and he was like, he said something in the park. He reached down and pulled me up on stage. I was geeked as hell. Felt
Shout
like
out
a
to P
celebrity.
Groove, Sleepy D,
Yep.
KOB. Yeah,
you know I sampled P Groove for HP style.
Okay, yeah.
He was happy as hell. We was at the hip hop shop. I think Des let him hear it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Des was quoting the lyric when I was like, "This ain't the East Coast flavor or the West Coast behavior."
Yeah.
I rap a nigga out his Timbos and his Chuck Taylors. And then Groove had heard it, and he was like, "Man," it was like, I intentionally wanted to sample somebody from Highland Park, and he was the only person I had saying something about HP like that.
Man, shout out to P Groove. That was like our Marley Marl, our Dilla.
Yeah.
Before Dilla, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Over there recording on that 4-track. I got a couple songs with him.
Mm-hmm.
Used to go over there with TKO sometime, record.
Deathcore, yeah.
Yep. Those were the good old days. But
rest in peace, Young E.
Yep. P Groove in the house. Yep. So who else you work with as far as producers, man? Who?
Man, producer wise, early in the game I did a lot of stuff with Denai.
Yep.
I did stuff with Dez, of course. S-Man, I did an album with S-Man. It's called Espionage. It's out now.
Yeah.
He slept on, you know, I really wanted
S-Man was dope.
Yeah, I really wanted to work with him and get some professional out there. It's called Espionage. You got Method Man is on that album. Isham is on that album.
Yep.
Sticky Fingers.
That's the
Melanie Rutherford, yeah.
Sticky Fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Was dope because like around that time, I think you was working with Sick Notes.
Yeah, Sick Notes.
Yeah. Kind of around that same time.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this music banging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dope, man. Detroit got some shit. I'm pretty sure some other cities out there that got some shit. And we said we gotta start reaching out more around. We were saying Yacktown, Flint.
Right.
Ypsilanti.
Right.
Who else? Ann Arbor.
Right.
Had some cats. What was the DJ name? What was his name? I think was he from Ann Arbor?
Graffiti.
Yeah, DJ Graffiti. You still
that's
link
my guy.
up? Yeah.
Smart dude, man. He a lawyer. You know?
Oh, for real?
Shout out DJ Graffiti.
Oh yeah, I need to sue somebody. Stealing my rhyme style from back in a while. Yeah, that's dope. Yep. So yeah, man, hip hop is good. I'll be feeling like, you know, at some point in my life I felt like I was outgrowing hip hop to the point where like the new content was like everything just seemed immature to me for where I'm at in life. But then like all the older artists, like or artists around my age, some of them was still dropping content like, I don't want to hear you 50 and you still talking, you gang banging and shit like that. Like if you is, then I shouldn't be listening to you.
Right.
And then if you ain't, you really shouldn't be talking about it.
Right.
So it's like, but yeah, it's like everybody didn't involve, you know what I'm saying, over time. But then you got some people like, shit, man, Nas rapping his ass off on this whole King's Disease and all that. And then the beat selection, everything is dope, it's mature. Even like some of Jay most recent verses and stuff like that. The conversation is different.
The beauty of that too, you look at it like Teddy Riley the guy and with Nas and Hit Boy, it's like I think a lot of those our favorite MCs, they want that access to a producer and say, yo, make them 50 beats for me.
Right.
Them 20, hold them out for me, because I think a lot of hip hop took a dive when sampling wasn't cleared on them records, and you didn't have somebody as creative as Hit Boy, and
right,
with that much access, and say, yo, here, I'm gonna do a whole album with you. That's what I kind of took the method of that with this Pace One album.
Right.
The Bodie album I did, just kind of have your own, because it's something about even DJ Scratch when he did the RZA album, he was saying, DJs, it's time for y'all to get published. And for us to just break records and stuff. We would find our way in the poorhouse if we just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So remember, so let's talk about, I want to talk about something that because we've been interviewing a lot of Detroit hip hop legends, right? Some of them still active, like Mercer Samir is very active, right? He just did something with Teddy Riley, he said. So,
right.
But is it the beat and production, or is it the rhyme style? So for example, Nas' rhyme style was a little bit ahead of its time, or it was always unique. So you could take Nas and bring him up to a Hit Boy production or Premier production, but the Premier production that he had back then may not, if it came out right now, would it have the same impact, right? But with Hit Boy, if you use those same rhymes with two different producers, would it have had that same impact? You think so?
I mean, I think at some point, some of the producers they get to a point where it's hard to disguise their samples.
Right.
You know, I think Hit Boy found a way to be creative.
Right.
You know, the art of even scratching on somebody's record, you got to make sure you scratching the right stuff.
Yeah.
You ain't got no clearances problems and things. I think that's the freedom that a lot of rappers been. Just think if Rakim had that access.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think when we talked to Valid on the show, and I was trying to explain, like, you know, and it wasn't like dissing Rakim and them, but it was like after their third album, it didn't have the same impact, or the fans wasn't really, because hip hop was still moving pretty swiftly at that time. It was just changing so quick. And thinking back on it, like, did those guys really have a fighting chance after a certain period of time? So what I mean is, like, back then we thought a 30-year-old rapper was just old as hell, you know what I'm saying? And now you got people getting in the game at 35. Yeah. And for whoever thought we would see a 40, 50-year-old rapper rapping on a hit song on the radio, you know what I'm saying? On a consistent basis, coming back, doing your all the way up, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever hit songs coming out from the 40, 50-year-old rapper. That just wasn't, like, it was at one point in time, it was like, I remember everybody's uncle favorite rapper was Kool Moe Dee because he sounded like the grown man, right? But, like, Rakim, third, fourth album, you wasn't hearing it on the radio. It wasn't getting pushed. It didn't have a machine behind it. But then as the fans, we had moved on away from that so quick. And it's almost like we forgot about a lot of them dudes, even though they were still putting out good music.
I mean, the politics of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Nas putting out his own records.
Yeah.
That make a difference too. I mean, you know, the way of just staying young, man, in the game. I mean, Fat Joe, young, he's still young. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think we found a way to hip hop has got a kick out of saying rest in peace to somebody, bro.
Right. Damn, that's deep.
You know, it's like that,
right.
You know, and I never wanted to, you know, it's like I hear certain people run Detroit hip hop is like let their career go to the graveyard. And me as a DJ, I feel like a pussy if I just play in New York and LA stuff. Right. And you know, it's like let me throw in a Detroit legend and some of this new stuff. And it's like, and I just never I hung around Proof and Dilla and I took pictures. I don't care if I bothered them. You know, it's like in hip hop we tolerate each other too much instead of just saying I love you, bro. You know, let's work together. Let's put something together. It should not take a gang to do that. You know what I'm saying? It
seemed like though some of the younger artists doing that though a little bit,
because they see our errors and you know just our unity, man. It's like if Cass is 45 and plus and done hip hop and haven't been to Hitsville or my age of 48 or 50,
right,
and haven't met Dilla or don't know Maurice Malone and you've been in the game for 30 years and this,
right,
it's like it's time to move on now. You know, it's like I make it an effort to take pictures with cats, man, because you know, it's empowerment. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's easy to be selfish and go to my blue collar job like we were trained not to take on that Berry Gordy spirit, but you know, we got to change something because we got to mold some entrepreneurs. I was motivated by Berry Gordy and Kathy from Strictly Sportswear. This what helps me do what I do.
Shout out to Strictly Sportswear. Yeah. So back in the day, right? So like everybody, this was like the late '80s. All the dope boys on the street, YBI and whatever.
Yeah, I was selling T-shirts on the corner with Kathy, for real.
Yeah, man. Strictly Sportswear. I think one of the most famous things they sold, at least the store in Highland Park, was they would take like a cartoon character and then they would have them dressed like a rapper or a dope boy. Mm-hmm. So like you'll have like Donald Duck or something with the Kango on, with the fat rope. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With the shell toes or whatever, driving a Jeep, Suzuki or something like that. So those was like, you know, this was, everybody was airbrushing everything back then. But Strictly Sportswear, man, they stood the test of time, man.
Yeah,
that was
she's
where
still in business. She like that's like my Russell Simmons to me, you know what I'm saying? For real. Sylvia Rowan is watching her, bro. So
what was so funny about Strictly Sportswear was, you know, you can go up the street to them. And this is what I first learned about. I learned about marketing and just different selling products, period, right? So like, and location as well. So you might go into Strictly Sportswear and get whatever, let's just say a shirt. That shirt may be $5 more than what you could get it for at Northland. But if you wanted that shirt for tomorrow at school, you can just run up to Strictly Sports, grab it, and be ready.
Right.
Northland, at that age, we had to catch the bus out there or get our parents. You might not get out there till tomorrow. Right. And then when you get out there, you're only saving $5, right? So it was important to support the local business, and Northland ain't there no more. Right. It's Strictly Sports.
Shout out to Spectacles as well. Zane.
Yeah. Oh, man, Spectacles. Yeah. I made it a habit for years to go down there and at least buy just one item every year. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because, like, I remember I wore she had a Detroit hip-hop shirt, and it was a guy scratching on it with, like, an afro. I remember I wore that shirt to Freaknik. And I seen CeeLo at one of the little hand car washes. He was having, you know, they had little crackheads or whatever washing cars for him. And he looked at the shirt and he just nodded like, "What's up?" You know what I'm saying? Like, but he like looked at it like several times because it was just like it represented something. You know, I don't know if he really paid that much attention to it, but I thought he did.
Well, shout out to CeeLo.
Yeah, I used to buy stuff from. She been around a long time, man. Yeah. I think they were trying to push her out. She got a hell of a spot downtown Detroit. Yep.
She got Maurice Malone gear in there now.
Yeah. She always supported DJs too. She had DJs come down there and do sets. The house music DJs, techno, hip hop, all of that, man. Yeah. She would sell books down there, local authors and everything.
Right. Get fresh. You go get a YBI book in there.
That's actually where I brought my YBI book from. Yo.
Shout out to Zayna.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yep. So yeah, man, we got a lot coming, man. We just we got some great interviews. We're gonna keep doing this, and then we're gonna interview some people who are your local legends in your state, your city. You know, we're gonna move this thing around and
we're gonna travel
see
with
what's
it.
What. Yeah.
For real.
We interviewing the people that influence your celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Like M mentioned Mitter Merciless and Awesome Dre doing this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech. So it's like these guys that we was hearing growing up trying to be in hip hop, they was doing it on a local level, but they was getting national attention. So I mean, shit, Jack Frost had a St. Ives commercial.
The first one from Detroit.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was almost unheard of.
Yeah.
You know, so it's yeah, man.
He sampled Aretha Franklin. A lot of people don't know about Jack Frost sampling Aretha Franklin, man. We able to capture him at our table, man. We giving they flowers in our face, in each other's face, man. We got it. The funeral can't be the family reunion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what we changing up as well, you know?
Yep. So yeah, man.
Yes,
shout out to all the studios that recorded us, that took our money and coins and nickels and dimes.
Yes. Ron Mo, shout out Ron Mo. Yes.
Ron Mo, shout out to Mo Master, man.
Yes,
Mo Master. Every time people be telling me they recorded at Mo Masters, and I'd be like, I never ran into you at Mo's. Like, you go to other studios, you usually run into other artists, but I didn't run into many people at Mo's, and I figured out why. Mo had such a tight, his scheduling and everything was on point. Mo could tell you right now who owed him $5 from 1997. Like, all his stuff meticulous. He got the notebooks, and he was scheduled. He knew what artists probably was going to go over their time, and he just never, I guess because his studio was at his crib, he probably didn't want too many people, you know what I'm saying, interacting at once. But yeah, shout out to Mo Master, man. A lot of material came out of there, and he still got a lot of demos on some pretty famous people, man.
Yes. Shout out to Mo.
Yep. Mo Master. So
CMC. Q Ball.
Q Ball, yep.
Shout out to Q with 3D from Township. Shout out to 3D.
Yeah, that's funny. Yep. So yeah, man, we here, Funky Fresh in the Flesh.
Yes, sir.
Podcast. I'm Bboy Reg.
I'm DJ Butter, y'all. Yes, sir.
And that's what's up. What up, though?
Yes, what it be like?